PCN is brought to your community thanks to the support of Nauvoo Cable Co-op Corporation. PCN, Pennsylvania's neighborhood.
For the second straight season, the PIAA Girls Quad A bracket has come down to Springford and Cumberland Valley. Last year, Springford closed out the season on a 24-game winning streak to capture its first state title. The Rams led the Eagles by 2 at halftime before breaking the game open in the third on their way to a 15-point win. Same teams, same place. This time, CV is looking for celebration, not disappointment. Springford and Cumberland Valley for the girls' Quad A state title again, next on PCN. From Hershey, where kisses are abundant, the Pennsylvania Cable Network presents the 2014 Pennsylvania State Basketball Championships. It is session number 2 of 4 this weekend, and tonight's matchup is the Girls Quad A Championship between the Cumberland Valley Eagles at 27-5 and the Springford Rams, who come in with a record of 27-6. Good evening and welcome to the Giant Center. I'm Steve Degler, pleased to be joined with Steve Bowen and 2-time WNBA champion Kelly Mazzanti. This is the only game out of the 8 this weekend that is a rematch of last year's championship. Springford with a 60-45 victory, and Steve, make no mistake about it, Cumberland Valley has used that loss as motivation this season.
Coach Willis told us before the game, all season long they've talked about this. Now it's here.
When you look at this matchup, Kelly, there are no secrets. They played here last March. They scrimmaged in November. They played a regular season game in February as well.
I think at this point in the season, it's all about execution. Whichever team comes out and sticks to their game plan will be successful.
Well, this is a bracket where 2 teams come out of the eastern part of the state. Springford got dumped to the west. They're from Royersford in Montgomery County. Cumberland Valley is out of District 3 in Mechanicsburg in Cumberland County. And again, they are looking for some redemption here tonight. They've won a state title that happened in 2002. They come in as the number 3 seed out of District 3, winning 9 of their last 10. Their head coach is Bill Wolf. He is in his 4th season at Cumberland Valley. He is 73-42, but overall, he has won 204 games in 9 years, including a state championship with Central Dauphin back in 2008. And Stevie has a very talented young player in Kelly Jaycott.
We talked about her last year as a 6-foot freshman. She's grown an inch. She's improved her game tremendously, according to the coach. And he says that she can defend and play any of the 5 positions. At high school girls action, that's a rare find indeed.
Here is how Cumberland Valley made its way to Hershey, taking down CB West out of District 1 in the first round. Then District 12 champ Archbishop Carroll falling in the second round. Some revenge. They came back to beat Dover, who beat them in the district tournament in the quarterfinals, and then defeating Westchester Ruston by 16 in the semifinals earlier this week. Springford comes in as the number 2 team out of District 1. They have won 12 of 13 since a 2-3 stretch in January. They've got a new coach. Jeff Reinheimer stepped down after winning the championship last year. He has been replaced by the athletic director, Mickey McDaniel, who is playing hurt here tonight. He tore an Achilles tendon during the district tournament. He'll coach the game on crutches here tonight. And Kelly, he has a tenacious player in senior Sammy Stippa.
Coach McDaniel couldn't speak highly enough about Sammy Stippa. She's the heart and soul of the team. She's a tough kid who plays through injuries, and they'll look for her to lead the team out tonight.
He said she has been no more than 75% throughout the entire season because of those injuries. Here's the run to Hershey for the Rams. A couple of District 3 teams going down in the first 2 rounds over Red Lion and Mechanicsburg. Then Abington, also out of District 1, a 10-point win in the quarterfinals, and then they beat North Allegheny 47-32 in the semifinals to reach Hershey for the 2nd straight season. So it is a repeat of last year's girls 4A championship game. Springford won that one. Cumberland Valley is looking for some redemption here tonight. When we come back to the Giant Center, we will have the starting lineups and the opening tip in the girls Quad A championship next on PCN.
Today, a fever will be treated with warmth. a cut with more than a bandage. Today, a twisted ankle will come with a nice shoulder to lean on. Because today, the most considerate and professional urgent care will be found right around the corner at MedExpress. Just like it is every day. MedExpress is open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Visit medexpress.com to find a location near you.
Back at the Giant Center, here are the starting lineups for the girls 4A championship game. Cumberland Valley at 27-5 will have Megan Rhodes and Maddie Torreson at the forwards. Kelly Jaycott, Taylor Sneidman, and Jen Falconer are the guards for Springford, a record of 27-6 on the year. The forwards are Shelby Mueller and Maggie Locke. The guards, Amy Roth, Sammy Stippa, and Julia Rochelle in a rematch of last year's championship game. Now with the introduction officially of the starters and the national anthem before the Quad A Girls Championship. Here's public address announcer Bob Schellenberg.
The starting lineup. First of all, for Cumberland Valley, head coach Bill Wolf, assistants Jim Pohl, Ashley Richards, Phil Gillis, and Denny Bavaria. Here is the starting lineup for the Eagles. She'll start at the guard and wear number 5, 5'8" junior Jen Falconer. She's a 5'7" junior guard, number 20, Taylor Sneidman. Starting in a forward, 6'1" senior, number 22, Maddie Torreson. She's a 6'1" sophomore guard, number 25, Kelly Jaycott. And starting in the forward, a junior, 6 foot, number 35, Megan Rhodes, the Eagles of Cumberland Valley. And now, let's meet Springford High School under head coach Mickey McDaniel. Assistants, John Burton, Jeff Kaler, Dan Brittington, Stacy Whitman, and Phil Roche. Here is the starting lineup tonight for the Rams. Wearing number 5, starting in the forward, 5'10" senior, Shelby Mueller. She's a junior, 5'6", starting to guard, number 12, Julia Rochelle. The starting point guard will wear number 22, a senior, 5'5", Sammy Stippa. She's a 5'4" sophomore, starting to guard, number 23, Amy Roth. And starting in the forward, 6 foot junior, number 24, Maggie Locke. The Rams of Springford High School. Your championship officials for tonight's game, Tamika Howard, James Conroy, and Michael Prost, along with our alternate official, Tona Williams. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you please rise for the presentation of our country's colors, being presented tonight by the Marion Center High School Air Force Junior ROTC, consisting of Kayla Stump, Gina Shaner, Danica Lockhart, Gabriella Freed, and Megan Wise, under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Gary Wolpert, presenting our country's colors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you please remain standing as we honor the United States of America. Salute its leaders and members of the armed forces with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, to be sung tonight by the Bowling Springs High School Concert Choir. Ladies and gentlemen, we present with pride and gratitude our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stars and
Special thanks to the Bowling Springs High School Concert Choir and
A rematch of last year's girls Quad A game. It was 27-25 Springford at halftime. They had a 16-6 third quarter and ended up winning 60-45. They met in Royersford back on February 6th of this year. Cumberland Valley shot just 28% and fell by 15 again, 52-37 in that contest. No Eagles player scoring in double figures in that contest, while Sammy Stippa had 21 to lead Springford to a victory that snapped a 10-game winning streak for Cumberland Valley. As you heard, our championship officials are Tamika Howard, James Conroy, and Michael Pruss. They are out of District 7 working this championship game. Cumberland Valley is the visiting team. The Eagles will wear the red uniforms. Springford is the home team. The Rams will wear the white uniforms. So these two teams a year ago battled on this floor. Springford winning its first state title and trying to make it 2 in a row in girls Quad A. Maggie Locke will jump center for Springford. She'll be matched up against Kelly Jaycott. A couple of 6-footers as Tamika Howard steps into the center circle, and we are underway here at the Giants Center in the Quad A Championship with Springford controlling the tap. CV will come out in man-to-man. They will look to rebound and run in this game. Stippa looking inside. It's knocked away and stolen by Megan Rhodes. A turnover for Springford. Bounce pass across the lane is knocked away and stolen right back by the Rams. Each team with a turnover on its first possession.
A couple early turnovers, but I think the teams will settle down quickly.
Here is Stippa working off that wing screen, tried to return it down low, looking for Mueller. Defended very nicely by Cumberland Valley. And again, there aren't many secrets. They've scrimmaged this year, they've played against each other, they've agreed to do the same thing next year. A scrimmage in late November, early December, and then a regular season matchup in Mechanicsburg. Knocked away from Mueller, fights for it, gets it, muscles it up, and is fouled as Rhodes will pick up the personal. That is her first and the team's first.
We don't know a whole lot about Mueller, but we can tell after the first 58 seconds, she's come to play and play physically. She set that high ball wing screen, and also down there on this last play where she got fouled, she was battling underneath.
Only 3 seniors for Mickey McDaniel, and he described each of them certainly a lot differently. This is what he called his free spirit. Shelby Mueller, a 5'10 senior, averaging 12 points and 6 rebounds a game. 76% from the line. (2-0) Springford. And they will get right into full court pressure, handled easily by the Eagles. Rhodes looking down low off the hands of Torreson, out of bounds, and Cumberland Valley with its second turnover. Maddie Torreson on her way to UMBC next year. She'll be a retriever. Maryland, Baltimore County. Locke missed 7 games this year with a couple of injuries. Did not play the first 2 state tournament games. And now a foul in the backcourt. Stippa thought she had a tie-up. Tamika Howard, though, has a foul. It's the first on the Rams, and it will be called against Sammy Stippa.
I like that aggressiveness from Stippa. You know, she missed the layup, but it's early on. She's trying to set the tone for her team.
Torreson will inbound. Cumberland Valley searching for its first points. Torreson cannot get it in. So Cumberland Valley has had the ball 3 times, and that Springford defense has forced a turnover on each occasion. Rochelle finds Stippa. Stippa being guarded by Jennifer Falconer. In a key matchup, Stippa goes down, last touch by the Eagles.
Much like we saw in the first game this afternoon, they're letting them play. It's a little physical out there. Not necessarily what maybe some fans of high school basketball are used to. I find it refreshing.
Rochelle looking inside. Cumberland Valley again rotates and takes that next pass away. Cumberland Valley just looking to get a shot right now. It's tied up at midcourt. Possession will stay with the Eagles. Springford defense of Mickey McDaniel absolutely tenacious in the opening 2 minutes. Cumberland Valley with just two seniors, on the team. One senior in last year's state runner-up team. So even though they're young, they've got some experience at this level. Here's Jaycott. Finds herself in a triple team. Sneidman for three, knocks down her 29th of the year, and the Eagles are in front.
Boy, if you want to get your legs underneath the running an offensive set like that is a good way to go. That was a great set.
Taylor Sneidman, a junior, averaging 6 points per game. Rochelle with the left hand, too strong, Rhodes the rebound. Here's where CV wants to run, and Stippa did a nice job defending that outlet pass. Three on the other side for Torreson is short. Battle for the rebound. Rhodes tied up with Mueller. Possession to Springford.
Neither team is shy to shoot the basketball.
(3-2) Cumberland Valley early in this girls' Quad A championship game from the Giant Center in Hershey. Looking inside for Locke. She gets surrounded as she puts it on the floor. Another held ball. This time it goes to Cumberland Valley. So both teams having a very difficult time just getting shots early in this one. The defenses have really been tough.
You can tell that they've played each other a few times this year. They know exactly where each player is going to be on the court.
Just 4 field goals attempted in the first 3.5 minutes. Jaycott with a floater off the mark, gets it back. This time right in the center.
2 straight possessions with excellent ball movement. That's the way to get some of those jitters out.
CV by 3. Mickey McDaniel calls out a new set. Clear the right side for Stippa. Being guarded by Faulkner. Pretty good job defensively, shutting off the spins. Stippa spots up for 3. Rebound tipped and lost out of bounds by the Rams. We'll step aside. 3:50 to play in the first quarter of the girls' Quad A championship. Cumberland Valley with 5 straight, leading it 5-2 over Springford.
The Comfort Inn at the Park, Hershey, PA. Coaches, be sure to reserve your rooms in advance for all PIAA events in Hershey. Get more information at facebook.com/Comfort Inn at the Park.
Welcome to the 100th anniversary of the PIAA Championships. Susquehanna Bank congratulates all of the athletes, coaches, and their families for the hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance that led to today. Susquehanna Bank is proud to partner with the PIAA during this 100th anniversary celebration as we share a sincere commitment to the communities we serve across the Commonwealth.
You don't have to miss the big game now. Just get the new PCN Select app. Watch on your phone or iPad anywhere you are. Subscribe to PCN Select at PCNTV.com. Download the app today from the App or Play Store. PCN Sports and the PCN Select app. It's the best seat for the on-the-go sports fan. Just past the midway point of the first quarter here at the Giant Center. Bill Wolf's Cumberland Valley Eagles with a 5-2 lead on Mickey McDaniel's Springford Rams in the girls' Quad A championship game. Cumberland Valley in red will inbound on a 5-0 run. Springford is 0 for 3 from the field. It's only points coming from 2 free throws from Shelby Mueller. Kelly, you get the feeling this first break of the action might be enough to settle these teams down?
I think so. We're 4 minutes in. I think they're going to settle into their offenses and get some better looks to the basket.
And Steve, certainly not shaping up as a high-scoring game at this point with the way the defenses are going at it, except for Jaycott right down the lane.
That was an outstanding play. She looked right side. Nothing was open. And that right look pushed the defense that way, opened up that lane.
She has 4 of the 7 for Cumberland Valley, making 2 of her 3 shots thus far. Molly Hines, number 21 in white, has checked in. That is she with the ball and firing from the corner. Weak side rebound for Faulkner. Hines, a 5'5" sophomore. Jaycott, little step called for the travel. 4th turnover on Cumberland Valley.
Still in all, that's a pretty good handle for a 6'1" sophomore.
Stippa running the point. Tried to get it back from Mueller, and it's thrown out of bounds. A turnover against the Rams.
CV's defense seems to be doing a really nice job of keeping Spring Ford outside of the lane. Everything's been around the perimeter, initiated from top of the circle or the wing.
Katie Doherty, number 3 in white, checks in for Springford. She's a 5'5" senior. Katie Jaycott, Kelly's younger sister, number 43 in red, a 5'7" freshman, is on for Cumberland Valley.
Great pass.
Jaycott down low for Torreson for the left-hand layup.
Great vision and great ball control for such a young kid.
That is 9 straight for the Eagles. 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Faulkner out of the game, so the younger Jaycott, Katie, will play her now. Will play Stippa. Here's Mueller dipping under a double team, too hard off the glass. Sneidman the rebound for Cumberland Valley. Looking long and a little too much for Katie Jaycott, turned over by the Eagles. And I guess if you're a coach that wants your team to run the floor, you have to accept those types of turnovers.
You know, any team that runs and guns, if you will, you're going to have to deal with a few turnovers, but the overall look was positive.
Springford trying to get on track here offensively. Maddie Haney has checked in, number 31. She's a 5'10" freshman. A lot of youngsters on the big stage here tonight. Haney off the bench, firing, can't get the roll. Offensive rebound underneath. Off the mark again for Haney, and rebounded by Cumberland Valley. Here is Kelly Jaycott. Hesitation, spin move, too hard off the glass. Doherty with the rebound. Now Stippa taking control, missing the driving layup. Mueller, offensive rebound and the putback for the first field goal for Springford.
Great offensive rebound and putback.
Mueller averages 12 points and 6 rebounds a game. That ends a 9-0 CV run. Sneidman kicking for Rhodes. Rhodes into the lane and heavy traffic, able to hit for her first bucket.
Tough shot.
Rhodes at 5 points a game, restores a 7-point lead.
Both teams are running a 4-out 1-in, it seems. Just a pass and cut, whoever executes the best.
They reverse the ball to Stippa, trying baseline, cut off by Jaycott, turned over. They are playing great defense so far on Sammy Stippa.
They are. They're cutting off her passing lanes. They're not letting her get into the middle of the paint. So she's going to have to settle down and figure out a way to read the defense.
Bill Wolf, the Cumberland Valley head coach, flat out told us before the game she can't score 21 like she did in the first game against us in the regular season. If she does that, we're in trouble. So far, so good for the CV defense. She has not scored here in the first quarter. Stippa averages 14 a game. CV looks like it'll hold for 1 here, leading by 7. Kelly Jaycott calls out the play with 10 in the quarter. 1-4 across the foul line. Sneidman Off-balance runner is no good. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Bit of a slow start offensively, but CV found a different gear and leads 11-4 over Springford. Back with the second quarter in just a moment.
After an intense workout, athletes need to get their energy back. Go for complete refreshment. Chocolate milk. With the right mix of high-quality protein and carbs, chocolate milk builds and refuels tired muscles. Electrolytes replenish what's lost in sweat. And calcium and vitamin D strengthen growing bones. Low-fat chocolate milk is the great-tasting way to give your body what it needs after a hard workout. Workout. Refuel with chocolate milk.
Two games done this afternoon, two tonight. The next one will be the boys' AAA game. Newman Goretti's girls fell today to Seton LaSalle. Well, the boys will try and win their fourth state title as they take on District 3 champ Susquehanna Township. Bob McCool, Gary Sutton have the call right after this girls' quad A game is finished. We're through one at the Giant Center. Cumberland Valley in red, leading Springford 11-4. Springford shooting 1 of 9 in the first quarter. Locke down low to Mueller. Mueller at all 4 points for the Rams. Locke with the jumper at short. Hustling to try and save the rebound, Abby Byer, but unable to do so. Possession to CV. Megan Rhodes will check in for Cumberland Valley. She's out there with Kelly Jaycott, Katie Jaycott. And in the backcourt, it is Maddie Torreson and Jennifer Falconer. Looks like Springford drops into a zone here to start the second quarter. CV shot 5 of 9 in the first period. Runner along the baseline, no good for Katie Jaycott, but Kelly with the offensive rebound. Falconer's 3 is short. Another offensive rebound for Rhodes. And we've got a foul as players get tangled on the baseline. It'll be against Springford. Abby Byer will pick up her first. It's the second on the team. Jaycott gets it back in the corner, well defended by Springford.
Valley trying to get in a good set here against the zone.
They go 2 at the high post. Torreson misses the little flip shot, rebounded by Maggie Locke, the 6-foot junior. Locke has shown the ability to handle the ball on the perimeter thus far. Stippa trying to drive. Falconer again with great defense. It doesn't matter.
Falconer was all over her the last possession. It was a great take by Stippa. Just go to the basket.
First points for Sammy Stippa. Quick 3 for Kelly Jaycott. She'll knock down her 50th of the year.
That's a way to get a team out of the zone.
Seemed like a quick shot, but within the set, it was a nice play.
Locke finds Mueller straight away from 17 off the back iron. Rhodes the rebound. CV looking to push. Torreson into the lane. Foul is called on Mueller. That will be her first, third on the team.
Yeah, if you're going to shoot poorly from the field, you don't want to be shut out on the offensive glass either, which is what's happening right now to Springford.
Springford will take a 30-second timeout with 5:46 to play here in the second quarter, and Cumberland Valley looking for some revenge in the 14-6 lead. And Kelly Jaycott has been sensational thus far.
She's showing her versatility right there with an offensive rebound and put back. She shows you how she can dribble and come off and hit a floater. She's a great pass with her eyes up right there. She's just an ultimate player.
And for good measure, 3-pointer from the wing.
7 points and 3 of 5 shooting with a couple of rebounds for Kelly Jaycott. Now, she's only a sophomore, but Coach Wolf told us offers, not interest, offers from Maryland, Penn State, Villanova, St. Joe's, Indiana, Loyola, and Boston College. It's a tough problem to have as a sophomore.
She has extreme upside. With her size and what she can do on the floor, of course she's getting recruited.
Torreson, 63% on the season, knocks down the first. She now has 3 points in the game. Biggest lead for CV, and it's now in double digits. Rochelle looking down low, knocked away by Rhodes, could not keep it in bounds, however.
We've talked about CV's defense all game long so far. It's been solid man defense, and they've been great on the ball.
They give up just 37 points per game, knocked away from Rochelle and stolen underneath by Rhodes. 6th turnover on Springford. Sneidman will back it out. These two schools, outstanding basketball programs, obviously is getting here for the 2nd straight year. Great soccer programs that battle each other as well. Cumberland Valley has been to Hershey Park Stadium quite a bit to play in soccer championship games. And Springford was there last fall, losing to Neshaminy in overtime. Stipa was looking for Byer. It got knocked away from her. Byer with great effort to keep it in bounds, but unable to do so.
Just a little miscommunication there. Two girls were in the same spot.
Mickey McDaniel was Jeff Reinheimer's assistant for 18 years. Jeff Reinheimer stepped down in April after winning the state championship, and McDaniel, who was also the athletic director, taking over. He said he didn't have to interview himself for the job. Turnover as Locke comes up with a steal. Byer pulls up and hits the high-arcing shot for her first points.
Great job of running the secondary break that time, and Byer found the open spot.
Bill Wolf will take a 30-second timeout. His team up by 8. Let's revisit the events here last year at the Giant Center. Cumberland Valley and Springford. It was a 2-point game at halftime, 27-25. The Rams in front, and then they got red hot in the 3rd quarter, outscoring Cumberland Valley 16-6. And they would go on to win. Jeff Reinheimer in his final game as the head coach at Springford, getting a state championship as they close the year 32-2 on a 24-game winning streak to take the state title 60-45. And Mickey McDaniel calling a timeout in the District 1 semifinals against Mount St. Joseph, jumped up and snapped that left Achilles tendon. He's getting around the Giant Center before the game in a wheelchair. Now he's got the crutches. He's a gamer, Kelly.
He is a gamer. Nothing's going to stop him.
Torreson to Sneidman, wide open, short with this 3. She hit one earlier. Byer has the rebound. Springford down 8. Byer off the mark with the 3. Mueller and Rhodes battle, and it pops free to Kelly Jaycott. Jaycott's
Great
pass
hustle.
tipped out of bounds, last touched by Faulkner.
Great hustle by Faulkner to cause that turnover.
Springford gets it right back with a chance to cut into that 8-point deficit. Byer will fire again. Too strong. Offensive rebound chased down by Molly Hines, but lost, stolen away by Sneidman. 2-on-2, Sneidman attacks and converts.
That was a strong take.
5 for Sneidman. Lead back to 10. Springford not a big 3-point shooting team. They averaged 3 a game. They've made 105 in 33 games this year. And
and that's not good against this defense.
Short with the jumper. Torreson has the rebound. One and done for Springford. Rams just 8 points thus far. Jaycott looking down low. Handled by Faulkner. Rhodes with the baseline jumper off the mark. Stipa has the rebound. Looks to push, does not have numbers, will not be denied as she pulls up and hits.
Great pull up in transition. I think her team really needed that to give them a little boost.
She can certainly take over a team. Trying to do so right there. Back down to an 8-point game. Sneidman escapes, getting it to Jaycott. Jaycott had it knocked away and stolen by Stipa. Stipa down the floor for Locke. Can't make the layup. Tipped out for Hines, and she hits. Molly Hines, averaging 3.5 points per game, cuts it to 6. Looks like Bill Wolf is going to need to talk things over here. We've got a timeout on the floor. 18-12, Cumberland Valley.
Need my A game today. I've worked hard for this. Got to give 110%. I've trained. I've prepared. Don't forget, leadership, teamwork, communication.
That's right. A game today and every day.
Stay involved in interscholastic athletics. Become a PIAA registered official. Stay in the game.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free homeownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of homeownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
Bill Wolf taking his second 30-second timeout of this second quarter as his team now up by 6, 18-12. What has changed for Springford in the last couple of minutes?
I'm going to say Sammy Stipa has changed. They got the ball into her hands. She's done a nice job distributing, and we saw that pull-up jumper. She's, as we talk about, starting to take some control.
Full court pressure, again handled pretty easily by Cumberland Valley. Sneidman, Torreson, the two Jaycotts and Rhodes out there for CV. A little more purpose on this offensive possession. Sharp cuts, Jaycott gets a floater in the lane.
Great take by Jaycott, just keeping her head up, getting to the middle of that defense and making a nice little floater.
And after the pass, everybody spaces very well. That was wide open for her.
Get the feeling that was maybe addressed in the timeout.
I think so.
The way we want to approach things offensively, and they come right back and get a steal. Jaycott handling the ball. She has 9 points on 4 of 6. She makes another nice pass, but Rhodes can't finish. Rebounded by Mueller. Stipa reversing the ball. Wide open is Beyer, and she makes her second bucket of the quarter. Just a really crisp pass by Sammy Stipa, reversing the ball and finding a wide open teammate.
It's always nice when your point guard sets you up with a nice, easy pass to catch.
Under a minute to play here in the second. Cumberland Valley is led by as many as 10. CV, the 2002 state champs.
Steve, I think another thing that's changed is the half-court defense by Springford has been much more active and much more bothersome than they were early in the game.
CV trying to hold for that last shot before halftime. And they get it in the hands of Kelly Jaycott. Has to kick this time. Sneidman wide open for 3. Perfect execution.
Jaycott gets so much attention. That's why her teammate was wide open.
A big first half for sophomore Kelly Jaycott, whether finishing or distributing. And Cumberland Valley looking for some revenge. Leads by 9 at the break. Stay with us. Mike Zambelli and Jim Wills have our halftime show. CV 23, Springford 14. Back with more in a moment on PCN.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That moment?
It was a moment that changed my life. I'd been training with my team for months, and now we had been called up for the first time. The real deal. Wildfires were getting dangerously close to homes. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
A duel between two programs that are very familiar with one another. As we have reached halftime, Cumberland Valley looking to reverse the outcome of last year's championship game, leading by 9 over defending champion Springford. Welcome back to the half. The Giant Center, Mike Zambelli, Jim Wills. Jim, I think you have to start with Cumberland Valley's defense. They were outstanding in that first half.
Mike, they played a great defense in the first half. They did exactly what they needed to do, but Kelly Jaycott was a great player for Cumberland Valley offensively. She did a nice job of going inside, outside, had 9 points in that first half. The thing of it is, she was relentless with her shooting ability from the outside as well, as you're going to see here in these highlights. Smart play, dribble drive to the hoop, did it all for them in the first half.
Of course, with the lead here right now, we'll turn our attention now to Springford, the defending champs, and did not score their first field goal till there was a little over a minute to go in the opening quarter. That's the bad news. I guess the good news is they are only down 9 points here at intermission.
Yeah, they really found themselves in a bad position, Mike. They didn't play that well offensively, really struggled. Rebounding, it's not a problem for them, but it was their shot selection and their shots that didn't go in. And they had a problem there at first, but, Snipper did a nice job of doing a couple of things. She drove to the basket here real well. Matter of fact, she's done a nice job leading the team from the offensive part, but the thing of it is they need more points out of her. When they met on February 6th, she was a big part of that reason that they won that game on February 6th.
She scored 21 points in that game, as you mentioned. How much are we looking at here? Cumberland Valley came up on a short end a year ago. They lost during the regular season. The guys mentioned that they scrimmaged earlier this year. They know each other very well, but that revenge factor for Cumberland Valley.
Yeah, it's big, Mike, and I think that's going to be what happened in the first half. You're looking at a big revenge. They came out with a lot of energy. I think Springford kind of did not give that same energy. I look in the second half for them to come out with a lot more energy and a lot more ability to put the ball in the basket.
Pick up their energy. How do they improve with their offensive performance?
Well, I think they're going to have to run a little bit more plays inside. They didn't get the ball inside a lot. They settled for a lot of outside shots, which I don't think that they wanted to do.
Important start again to this second half will probably determine who will win the 4A state championship. Cumberland Valley, Springford, your third quarter when we return to the Giant Center.
If you think the level of competition is impressive, wait till you see the level of coverage. High school meets high impact with MaxPreps.com, America's most comprehensive source for high school sports. Find out how your local teams compare, who's in the hunt to be state champs, and which teams and players are leaving their stamp on the national stage. Get pumped on your high school teams. Log on to MaxPreps.com.
Halftime in Hershey in the girls 4A championship game, a rematch of last year. Cumberland Valley looking for some revenge, leading Springford by a score of 23-14. Steve Degler with Kelly Mazzanti and Steve Bowen and Kelly in that first half. The defense for Cumberland Valley was really relentless.
It was relentless. I think that's what their game plan was, and they're executing it perfectly.
Steve, we said they wanted to use last year's loss as motivation. It looks like they certainly have.
They have, and Kelly talked earlier about which team's gonna figure out how to get into their stuff earlier. CV did.
And Cumberland Valley, led by Kelly Jaycott, had a very strong first half.
There's a three-pointer from the corner, off the pass by her. Now a great drive right down the middle. And this is an outstanding high post entry pass. That's just a great look there.
Torreson able to finish that off. Meanwhile, for Springford, Kelly, they really struggled at times offensively. They need Sammy Stippa to have a big second half.
You know, she stepped up big, taking the ball to the basket hard to get herself rolling. Here she is in transition, taking initiative and hitting that pull-up jumper. You know, they're looking for Sammy Stippa, especially in the second half, to get things going for him.
Makes the good pass this time down low to Abby Beyer, who had 4 points off the bench in that first half, but CV leading it by 9 as we take a look at the numbers from the opening half. Springford shooting just 30%, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, and points in the paint, a huge advantage for Cumberland Valley.
It helps to be able to get it into the paint, and Springford has not been able to all evening long.
Each team with 4 players in the scoring column in that first half, as Kelly Jaycott leads the way with 9 points for Cumberland Valley. Taylor Sneidman with 8. For Springford, Shelby Mueller and Sammy Stippa, along with Abby Beyer, each with 4 points in the first half. 9-point lead for Cumberland Valley. Springford in white will have the first possession of the third quarter. Locke, Stippa, Mueller, Beyer gets the start here in the second half, along with Julia Rochelle for the Rams. Mueller along the baseline, little pump fake, and she draws a foul.
That's what they need to do early on in the second half. Try to get some easy buckets, some free throws to get back in the game.
It almost looks like their first possession in the first quarter. They did get it down low, and there was an early foul.
Mueller, 2 of 2 from the line, 76% on the season. Now, Cumberland Valley was whistled for just 1 foul in the first half. It was on Megan Rhodes. She just picked up her second 11 seconds into the third quarter. The only 2 fouls in CV tonight. Team high 5 points now for Mueller. She is 4 of 4 from the line. Mueller drawing interest from Kutztown and Millersville in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, plus a lot of Division III schools. Flip shot, no good for Faulkner. Rebounded by Locke.
Good full court press by Springford, trying to make some things happen.
Locke with a nice pass. Mueller misses the first and the second. Fighting for a third opportunity. She won't get it, as it's rebounded by Jaycott. Stippa steals that pass to the corner. Stippa forcing the issue, got too far under. Sneidman with the rebound for Cumberland Valley.
Good defense that time by Sneidman, too.
And she goes coast to coast and is in double figures with 10 points. Now, we talked about the soccer success of these two teams. Sneidman had a big goal in the state quarterfinals a couple of seasons ago, the game winner against Lower Dauphin. She's having a great matchup here tonight on the hardwood with 10 points. Locke up and under, off the mark. Rhodes with the rebound.
I don't think conditioning will be a problem for Springford.
And don't count this team out. They have been on the deck a couple of times this year, and they have found ways to come back and win late. Too much on that pass for Rochelle, and it's turned over by the Rams. Exhibit A, the District 1 tournament, with 8:10 to go in the third in the game. 10 seconds in the third quarter plus the full 8 minutes in the fourth quarter. They trailed Penwood by 17 and outscored them 32-9 to come back from a 17-point deficit.
When you have a leader like Sammy Stippa, I don't think you're ever out of a game.
Torreson drops a 3 and makes the comeback a little more difficult, as it's now a 12-point game, biggest lead of the night. Torreson with 7. It is her 30th 3 of the season. Mueller surrounded. She'll go back to the line.
She did a great job posting up down low and really battled not only the defender, but battled to get position. It's a great catch by her.
Kelly Jaycott will pick up her first, second on the team. Mueller remains perfect at the stripe. Katie Jaycott returns for Cumberland Valley. Maddie Haney back in for Springford. Six of 6 for Mueller. 8 points, 4 rebounds for the 5'10 senior. Sneidman ahead, running the floor for a layup, Katie Jaycott.
That's twice Cumberland Valley's gotten behind Springford in their press. They have to be careful of that.
Now we mentioned these teams are very familiar with one another. That press has not bothered CV at all as Stippa will head to the line.
Based on the defense Katie Jaycott played that time, you can imagine how many Band-Aids the Jaycott family has to keep in stock whenever they have backyard pickup games. That was a battle.
Stippa knocks down her first. She is 72% from the line. One of 2. Jaycott, Kelly Jaycott with the rebound. 11-point game early in the third. They look to trap, knocked away from Jaycott.
Good hustle.
Does a nice job fending off Rochelle, but it's stolen by Stippa. Stippa through a double team right back to the line as Maddie Torreson will pick up her first, and it's already the 4th on the team after 1 first-half foul.
That trap was very effective. Springford is attacking, getting to the free throw line, and getting some easy points.
It's the second on Katie Jaycott.
That was Rochelle that really caused that turnover. Great hustle going after the ball after she knocked it away.
So Springford trying to draw a little closer here from the free throw line. Stippa, 2 of 2. They're 7 of 8 from the stripe for all of their points here in the third quarter. It's still down by 9.
Looking to trap again in the corner.
Cumberland Valley just ready for it. They go after Torreson this time. She dribbles through it. Nice little touch to Rhodes for the bank shot.
Maddie Torreson had a really strong playoff run, PIAA run for CB, averaging 17 points a game.
She had 21 in the semifinals over Westchester Ruston. And the parade to the foul line will continue. Torreson will pick up the personal. It's the 5th on the team. 3rd trip in the quarter for Sammy Stippa. This is becoming quite a weapon for Springford here in the third as Molly Hines returns, replacing Beyer.
You can see why Coach McDaniel is going to miss Sammy Stippa. She's relentless, and she's a fierce competitor.
Makes 2 more, back to a 9-point game. Torreson looking for a seam. Shot will not count. Foul before she was in the act. Stippa gets her second. It's the 1st on the team. Jaycott gets it back, knocks down the 3 from the corner.
Like we said last game, sometimes the inbounder is the most dangerous person on the floor.
Just a well-run play. Handoff and a screen all at the same time, and Jaycott knocks down her second 3. She has a dozen. 5 of 7 from the floor to go along with 4 rebounds for the sophomore. Runner off the glass and in for Maddie Haney for her first points.
And another big-time battle between Mueller and Rhodes underneath.
Sneidman surrounded, lost the handle, tied up. Possession will belong to Cumberland Valley when we come back. 3:51 to play in the third. CB leading Springford by 10 on PCN.
Hi, sweetheart. Hey YouTube, it's dinner time.
When Marcus and Michelle were starting their family, they came to the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency for their home loan. We're proud we could help Marcus, Michelle, and Mia. If you're looking for an affordable home loan or refinancing option, give us a call. We offer down payment and closing cost assistance too. Call us weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or check our website. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. We help home ownership dreams come true.
Back at the Giant Center in Hershey, Cumberland Valley has done an excellent job passing the basketball, especially in that full court press.
One of the keys to that is making sure that everybody's got their head up and their eyes open. That was a great dribble penetration and kick out by Sneidman.
CV by 10. 3:51 to play here in the third. Game 3 of 8 championship contests at the Giant Center this weekend. Well, 4 more for you tomorrow starting at 12 noon with the girls' Class A game kicking it off tomorrow. Reach-in foul. Molly Hines getting a piece of Katie Jaycott. For Hines, that is her first. It's the second on the team.
In that first game tomorrow, we talk about some young, great players in Pennsylvania. We'll see one of the young, great players, junior Brenna Wise for Vincentian Academy.
What a career she has already had. Did she do anything in the semifinals?
38.
38 and 10, by the way.
That's it?
Okay. There is the younger Jaycott, Katie, for her second field goal. The lead at a dozen. Mueller working on the perimeter. Stippa, that's a tough shot, a little short. Rochelle hustles after the offensive rebound.
Good hustle for another opportunity for Springford.
Stippa working off that screen. Mueller lost it out of bounds as she was surrounded by red jerseys. Turnover against Springford.
The ability to get the ball into the paint has been, with the exception of drives by Sammy Stippa, almost nil by Springford this evening. And I think that has as much to do with a 12-point deficit as anything.
Number 24 in red, Morgan Bachman, in for the first time for Cumberland Valley. She's a 5'10 sophomore. A lot of youth, a lot of size on this CV team. Bachman in the corner. Off of Stippa, it stays with Cumberland Valley. Maggie Locke will return for Springford. We mentioned 4 more games tomorrow. It starts in the afternoon with that girls' Class A game. District 2 champ Old Ford will take on Vincentian Academy. And then the boys' AA game, Constitution against Seton LaSalle, which looks to go back to Allegheny County with 2 gold trophies this weekend. The girls already winning today, 58-50 over Newman-Goretti. Newman-Goretti's boys take the floor next year at the Giant Center in the AAA game. Sneidman fouled, a reach in by Maddie Haney. That is her first, third on the team. Kelly, Springford has actually figured some things out offensively this quarter. They had 14 points in the first half, 11 here in the third. A lot from the foul line, but it's got to be discouraging because they're still down by 12 points.
You know, they have come out, like you said, and made some shots, but the big thing is you got to get stops on the defensive end.
Long jumper off the mark for Katie Jaycott, but again, last touch by Springford. Down to 2 minutes to play here in the third. Cumberland Valley comfortably up by 12. Bachman short, rebounded by Amy Ruff. Locke rolling to the hoop, rejected by Kelly Jaycott, her 75th block of the season. Bachman 1-on-2, had it taken away by Haney.
Great hustle by Springford not to give up on that play.
A little bit of a different look. It's not originating all with Sammy Stippa.
Jaycott thought about that three. She'll head to the line. Her ability to handle the ball at 6 feet really presents a defensive problem for not just Springford, anybody that Cumberland Valley plays.
You would also think as a sophomore she might end up being taller than 6 feet, or they list her at 6'1". All I know is that the way handling the basketball has developed among high school girls, I think has really grown this game tremendously.
You know, the game is evolving, and as a post player, being able to handle the ball and having that versatility really makes you a more effective collegiate player.
She's really going to bring a bigger player away from the basket. She's agile enough to be able to go right by her off the dribble.
Absolutely, she's a tough person to defend. When you're that versatile, you can shoot the ball and handle it and post up. She has a bright future ahead of her.
So a sophomore, 14.6 rebounds, 75 blocks on the season. She's made 51 three-pointers, and oh, by the way, she can handle the ball for you out front, as Mickey McDaniel will take a 30-second timeout here with 1:04 to play in the third.
Kelly, I asked you this before off air. Mickey McDaniel blew out his ACL in the quarterfinals. The huddle's different. You've gone through this when Renee Portland broke her leg. How much of an effect does that have?
It has a big effect. I think when your head coach is a little bumped and bruised, you know, the team has to rally together. Everyone has to kind of elevate their game, their leadership, and you know, you want to play for your head coach. So it definitely makes a difference. It makes a difference in the game.
Blue Ridge, Service Electric, and Verizon Fios subscribers in the Pittsburgh and Harrisburg areas, you can all view this special PCN Sports production in high definition. Visit PCNTV.com for the PCN HD channel numbers in these cable systems. If you would like to see PCN HD added to your cable lineup, call your cable operator today. Springford in white, the defending Quad A champs, down 14, under a minute to play in the third, against the team they defeated last year. Hines off balance, too strong. Faulkner with the rebound. Mentioned one senior for CV last year was Jackie Faulkner, Jennifer's older sister. Jackie now in the NCAA tournament with the University of Pennsylvania Quakers. They'll play Texas in College Park, Maryland in the first round on Sunday. Jennifer Faulkner, an all-state soccer player as well. She and the other guards trying to hold for one here, up by 14 late in the third. Tie up as Mueller will create the turnover and a big last possession of the quarter for Springford.
And up to that point, a really nice job of running clock without Jaycott, without Kelly Jaycott on the floor. She has, I think, a cut on her hand. She had to come out.
Here is Stippa, spinning to the foul line, short with the jumper, rebounded by CV, and the Eagles will go to the fourth quarter with their biggest lead of the night, looking for their second state title. They lead Springford 39-25 on PCN.
You are the undisputed king coin collector, but you also know how to sniff out a great bargain. Half super saver, half smart spender. Susquehanna Bank's Stellar Checking with Smart Rewards pays you for being both. Earn cash on check card purchases and when you transfer money from Stellar Checking to your savings account. Stellar Checking, rewarding the spender and saver in you. Only from Susquehanna Bank, member FDIC.
PIAA is a nonprofit corporation and a voluntary membership organization that develops and enforces rules regulating interscholastic athletics. PIAA establishes and enforces eligibility rules, adopts contest rules, registers officials, and operates championships without state or federal funds. PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by emphasizing the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports and recognizes that students are in school primarily to obtain an education.
Cumberland Valley up 7 after 1, leading at halftime 23-14, and they add 5 more to the lead in the third quarter, leading it 39-25 as we start the fourth in the girls Quad A championship here at the Giants Center. Stippa turned it over as it's stolen by Rhodes. 12th turnover for Springford. But the Rams hustling to get it back. Maggie Locke will be called for a travel as she slid across the floor with possession.
Good hustle by Springford. You can tell there's a sense of urgency. Down 14, headed into the fourth quarter. They need to get as many possessions as they can.
And you can tell that Locke is excited about this fourth quarter. A steal off the inbound, and then that time hustling. Unfortunately fell to the floor, and as she slid, traveled.
Cumberland Valley in red, leading by 14, its biggest lead of the game. Sneidman, both Jaycotts, Torreson, and Rhodes on the floor for the Eagles. Kelly Jaycott 14, Taylor Sneidman 10 to lead CV. Springford looking to trap. That time Locke got there just a little late. She'll be called for the personal, her first, team 5th.
Good look that time by Katie Jaycott. Saw the pressure coming, jumped up, noticed Rhodes.
Backdoor cutting, Torreson misses the reverse layup. Last touch by Cumberland Valley. Beyer, Hines, Mueller, Stippa, and Locke on the floor for Springford. Down 14 early in the fourth. Mueller off the mark. Katie Jaycott had the rebound and fights to keep it alive. Good hustle between Jaycott and Hines, but Katie won the battle. Torreson spots up for 3, short. Mueller the board. That's her 5th to go along with 8 points. Locke down the floor, taken away by Sneidman. Katie Jaycott, splash from the left side, the freshman with 6.
Turnovers can hurt you, especially when a team comes back down and capitalizes off of it.
The lead is 16, and Springford will take a full timeout with 6.5 minutes to play, 41-25. The folks from Mechanicsburg in front. And Mickey McDaniel, he was the assistant last year when this team won the state title. They had 5 seniors. Sammy Haas was a great field hockey player. Sarah Payock went on to play at Scranton. Courtney Hennon at Millersville. Brittany Moore at Gwynedd Mercy. But his team is down here tonight, and CV is clicking offensively.
Great job running the breaks. Sneidman to Katie Jaycott, who did what you're supposed to do, run to the wing and spot up. She did. Hit the jump shot.
Kelly, Mickey McDaniel told us before the game he's losing 3 more tonight, including Sammy Stippa, a senior. And he said, win or lose, this is going to be a very tough night for him personally.
Yeah, like he said, he is not looking forward to not having Sammy Stippa next season. She's meant so much to this program on and off the court, and it's going to be hard for him to say bye to her.
And Steve, if you're Bill Wolf, you got here last year with 1 senior. You're up by 16 this year with 1 senior. You never say you're going to be back, but he's got a stocked lineup coming back next year.
He does, and one of the things that we haven't talked about is the depth of both of these squads. They both play anywhere between 8 to 10 players a game. The difference is that CV gets outstanding production, rebounding, points, steals, all of that. It's more about the minutes and the rest for Springford. So yeah, it's a good bet for entertainment purposes only that that CV might make another run towards the Giant Center next season, because he does have a lot of kids back who've played.
Cumberland Valley revenge a big part of this season. They ended up being the number 3 seed out of District 3. That's because they lost to Dover in the semifinals of the District 3 tournament. They came back to beat Dover in the state quarterfinals 45-36. And as we talked right off the top, revenge for last year's loss here in the state title game to this Springford team has been a key. And can you really use that Kelly, a year later as motivation coming into a game like this?
Absolutely. There are still games from my career that I have not gotten over yet. So when you lose the last game of the season, it's always used for motivation to prepare for next year.
Trust me, just a little foreshadowing. We'll talk
that
about
was
that a
an
little more
absolute
tomorrow.
foreshadow.
Springford down by 16. Again, they rallied from 17 back in the last 8-10 of a district game against Penwood. There is a big three for Molly Hines. Her 12th of the year. She has 5 points. Sneidman will bring it out front. 6 minutes to play here in Hershey.
Springford really needs to get a few defensive stops in a row to get back in the game.
And there's one right there, creating a turnover. 13th on Cumberland Valley. Mickey McDaniel, longtime boys assistant coach at Springford, 86 through 95. Girls assistant, 95 until last year. He's the AD. He's an alum, class of 1973. Does his team have another rally? Mueller tied up with Torreson, and Torreson comes away with it. Katie Jaycott, tough shot. Mueller with the rebound. Out to Stipa. Baseline jumper too strong for Hines. Locke hustles after it but cannot track it down.
I like the fact that Springford has looked to some other people besides number 22 to get something going offensively. The problem is that those people probably have to get into a rhythm because for the most part it's been Sammy Stipa controlling the basketball for Springford.
Sneidman will run the offense this time. We've seen a lot of Kelly Jaycott out there. There's Katie Jaycott. Rhodes tied up. Mueller will pick up the foul, her second. 6 on the team.
Number 5, Shelby Mueller, her second personal foul. Will bring 31 Maddie Haney off the bench for the Raiders. Coming down the ball out of bounds.
Locke will check out. Maddie Haney returns for Springford. Lob pass underneath, turned over. Abby Byer back in for Julia Rochelle.
Byer might be one of those players that Mickey McDaniel can count on. She's not been shy when she's had the basketball and shown a pretty good touch.
4 points in the game, all coming in the second quarter. Stipa rejected by Katie Jaycott. Here is Torreson ahead of the pack, and she'll get an easy 2.
Pretty good play by a freshman.
Not bad.
Block shot. Outlook pass for a bucket.
Stipa too hard off the glass. Torreson is fouled by Byer, and free throws when we come back. 3:53 to play here in the fourth. CV in control of Springford, 43-28.
These past few years have been tough on all of us. You worry about the economy, your job, your savings. You may even have given up on your dream of owning your own home. But don't give up just yet. We're PHFA. We help people realize their dreams of owning their own home with features like competitive interest rates, down payment and closing cost assistance, and even free home ownership counseling. PHFA can make your dream of home ownership finally come true. Find us on the web or call us to find out how.
I'm Brian Hudson, and we're PHFA. Welcome home.
The Comfort Inn at the Park, Hershey, PA. Coaches, be sure to reserve your rooms in advance for all PIAA events in Hershey. Get more information at facebook.com/Comfort Inn at the Park.
15-point lead for Cumberland Valley, and Kelly, they've done a lot with the transition game.
They have. They're very effective in transition. They're attacking the basket. They're just being more aggressive than Springford, and that's turning into a lot of easy points.
They've been prepared for this pressure, Steve, no doubt about it. They've had no problem whatsoever.
No, they really haven't, and one of the hallmarks of Coach Wolf is rebound, get out, and go, and they've done a great job of that so far this evening.
Torreson, 2 of 2 from the line, 9 points, misses the front end. First miss for Cumberland Valley in 5 attempts. Stipa trying to make something happen right down the lane. She's in double figures with 11.
Seems like every basket she's made has been a really tough shot.
She really has to work for her points.
Nearly stolen away by Stipa. Stipa 5 of 6 from the line, 3 of 10 from the field for those 11 points.
Until it's crunch time as Coach Wolf gets Faulkner back in there. A little bit more experience.
Plus another ball handler as well. Jaycott doubled, and a nice job by Sneidman to step to the ball. Rochelle will get the foul, her first, 8th on the team.
I think Sneidman's been a real important factor for the way CV has run their half-court offense. She's handled the ball a lot, but I think more than anything else, she has as much confidence with the ball in her hands as anybody on that team.
2 guys that have become pretty good friends. Mickey McDaniel, Springford on the left, Bill Wolf of Cumberland Valley on the right. Sneidman with 11 as she knocks down the front end, 74% from the line this season.
And above all that, she has a nifty pair of socks, too.
I like those Jordan socks.
Yeah, how about it?
She has had a solid all-around game. 4 of 6 from the field, 12 points, 3 rebounds. The lead back to 15. Straightaway 3, no good for Bayer. Rhodes with the rebound. That's her 6th. And Cumberland Valley can now count it down to their 2nd state title, first since 2002. For Bill Wolf, it'll be his 2nd as well. He was the head coach at Central Dauphin for the 2008 state title. Of course, he had a player you may have heard of, Alyssa Thomas, All-American ACC Player of the Year at Maryland as part of that team. She could do some things on the high school hardwood.
She did some things in that state championship game, too.
And she's been really good for the Terps as well.
It was one of the seminal girls' high school performances that I've seen in the 12 years I've been doing this.
2.5 to go. There's Jaycott with a partial block on the 3 by Hines. Hines gets it back and is a little short. Torreson has the rebound. Katie Jaycott with her sister, 2-on-1. Younger to older for 2 more. Do you think she had to make that pass?
I was just going to ask, you think she's bound to do that?
Mueller with the putback underneath, no good. Rhodes fighting for the rebound, will commit a foul. Reaching in on Maddie Haney for Rhodes, that is her 3rd. It's the 6th on the team.
One of the things so far for CV is that we talk a lot about Jaycott. Here's Jaycott, the younger to the elder.
Bill Wolf will take a full timeout here with his team leading 47-30. Its biggest lead of the night.
There are going to be some names in the headlines, and it'll relate to numbers. But boy, if you look at the job Rhodes has done on the defensive glass, Katie Jaycott coming in off the bench, Sneidman, we talked about, 13 points, and nothing that made you say, wow, did you see what she did? Until you think back on it. Boy, 20 played a great game.
Here's a look at some more of the passing by Cumberland Valley tonight. Sneidman off the dribble. Torreson getting an easy 2. They've been really unselfish tonight as well. Capped off by the Jaycots on the 2-on-1. CV up 47-30. And Kelly, when you have two teams that are pretty even talent-wise, it's just hard to keep beating that same opponent time after time.
It is. It's tough to beat the same team multiple times in the season, and eventually the chips are going to fall the other way.
CV has been outstanding at both ends of the floor, shooting 52% through 3 quarters.
Stippa's hurt.
Sammy Stippa grabbing that left knee. This is certainly not what you want to see. As Mickey McDaniel told us before the game, she has not been healthy all season long. Shoulder, knee, 75% at best, but just hard to keep her off the floor.
Yeah, she's a tough competitor. You hate to see a kid go down with any type of injury.
She's on her way to Lafayette next year to play in the Patriot League. Turned over by the defense of Cumberland Valley. And the folks from Mechanicsburg, decked out in red, begin to celebrate what will be the school's second state title in girls basketball.
It's one of the great things about this event, because depending on the school, it really does become a town game, and that everybody from the town shows up. Great appreciation, support all season long.
These are two schools that opened a year apart. Cumberland Valley in 1954 in Mechanicsburg in Cumberland County. Springford in 1955 in Montgomery County, when the Royersford and Spring City school districts merged, hence the name Springford. They have become rivals on the basketball court. Springford won the title here last year. Cumberland Valley will return the favor in 2014.
They played a lot in PIAA basketball. You suppose there's been some AAU matchups between some of these kids being in such close proximity?
Absolutely. These kids definitely know each other's games and have competed against each other a lot, and will continue to in the future.
Bill Wolf has brought one of his 2 seniors on the floor. Alyssa Heinisch, number 11, will get a chance to play the final 133 here. Kelly Jaycott to inbound. Katie Doherty, a senior, is on for Springford as well, along with sophomore Emily Walker. Freshman Lexi Nugent out there as well. Freshman Sydney Wagner getting some state championship game experience. And freshman Cammie Jones at 6 feet tall. Sneidman loses it over and back, and that will allow Bill Wolf to get 4 subs into the game as well. Number 2, Mackenzie Torreson, a freshman, Maddie's younger sister, as they celebrate on the bench. Also in, Morgan Frazier, number 4, a sophomore. Jess Tonry, a freshman, out there as well. And Addison Kirkpatrick, a 6'1" freshman for Cumberland Valley, with a blocked shot.
And I can tell you right now, you are everybody in southeastern Pennsylvania's favorite announcer for getting all the kids' names in that got in. That's important though. That's a good job.
Here to serve. Something like that.
That's what we do.
Our entire crew from Service Electric in Allentown, doing an outstanding job as usual, producing these state finals.
Well, Bill Wolf's team has put to rest at least one old adage, and that's that youth is wasted on the young. He's got an outstanding team, almost everybody back next year, and has them playing at a very, very high level.
And guess what? It earns them the target on their back.
Yeah.
It's hard to play with the target on your back.
They were the pursuer this year. Mission accomplished. Now everybody's gunning for them. 3 short for Nugent. Jump ball on the rebound. Possession stays with Springford with 20 seconds to go. Now, Springford began the year in the Bahamas, of all places. A 3-0 start. But it will end in Hershey for the 2nd straight year, but in different fashion. Another jump ball. This time it goes to Cumberland Valley. Springford averaging 54 points a game, held to 30. And you could see it right away. The CV defense was just tenacious right from the opening tip.
Yes, they were. And not just from the opening tip, through the entire game. They've been relentless on the defensive end, and that's why they've only allowed 30 points in this game.
And I think offensively, for the first 2 minutes, it was a little iffy. The last 30, they've been very efficient, run everything pretty well.
So here is the senior Heinisch to the line, 67% on the season. She is in the scoring column, and her teammates love it.
That's a special moment. I mean, she comes to practice every day, and to see her contribute and see her teammates cheer for her is special.
And she'll make it 2 for 2.
And you know she wants to break into a little smile, but there's still 9 seconds left on the clock.
Doherty can't finish. Cumberland Valley will be your girls Quad A champs in 2014. Well, just a very good all-around performance tonight by the Cumberland Valley Eagles as they'll win the state title with a 28-5 mark. Springford winning it last year, the runner-up this season. They'll finish at 27-7. The final score from the Giant Center in girls Quad A, Cumberland Valley 49, Springford 30. We'll come back with a medal ceremony from Hershey in a moment on PCN.
The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency offers mortgages that fit your budget with closing cost and down payment assistance. Learn more at phfa.org.
We're back at the Giant Center in Hershey. Cumberland Valley, its 2nd state title, first since 2002. Beating Springford in the girls Quad A title game 49-30. This is the only game of the 8th this weekend that is a rematch of last year. Springford got the 2013 edition. Cumberland Valley answers back here in 2014 with a 49-30 victory. Springford got the first 2 points of the game. Cumberland Valley hit a 3 and did not look back, winning it by 19 points. Time now for the medals and team trophies to be handed out here at the Giant Center, and we'll send it across the court to public address announcer Bob Schellenberg.
You made it to the championship game. Unbelievable. You've made your school, your community very proud, and it's my honor at this time to introduce your 2014 PIAA Quad A Girl runner-up, Springford High School Rams. Head coach Mickey McDaniel will conduct the award ceremony, assisted by District Chairman Mike Barber and co-chair Randy Ireson. Our first medal, we're going to introduce the managers, Nicole Selman and Kelly Barber. Student athletic trainer, Alex Fortabono. Their videographer, John Rank. Statistician, Dan Miscavige. Athletic trainer, Dan Holman. And now let's meet the players, beginning with Sydney Wagner. Katie Doherty. Shelby Mueller. Lexi Nugent. Julia Rochelle. Cammie Jones. Molly Hines, Sammy Stippa, Amy Roth, Maggie Locke, Lauren Hart, Maddie Haney, Emily Walker, Abby Beyer, Scout Phil Roche, assistant coaches Stacy Whitman, Dan Brittingham, John Merton, and Jeff Kaler. And the head coach of the Springford High School Rams, Mickey McDaniel. And now we'd ask that Katie Doherty, Shelby Mueller, Sammy Stippa, please step out to midcourt as Mr. Barber and Mr. Ierson will now present the 2014 PIAA Quad A Girl Runner-Up Trophy to the Rams of Springford High School. Congratulations. And now we move to the other end of the floor, where we will now meet your 2014 PIAA Quad A Girl Champion, Cumberland Valley High School Eagles. Once again, what a year, what a career, what a past 2 years. Last year you stood here as runner-ups. Tonight you come out as champions. And we will now ask that head coach Bill Wolf conduct the award ceremony. He'll be assisted by District 3 Chairman Ron Kennedy, Assistant Chair Doug Bohannon. The first medal goes to Alyssa Heinisch, Morgan Frazier, Mackenzie Torreson, Taylor Sneidman, Jen Falconer, Ashley Johnson, Jessica Tunry, Katie Jaycott, Morgan Bachman, Addie Kirkpatrick, Megan Rhodes, Kelly Jaycott, Maddie Torreson, their manager Jenna Moriello, assistant coaches Denny Bavaria, Phil Gillis, Jim Poole, Ashley Richards, and the head coach of the Cumberland Valley High School Eagles, Bill Wolf. And now we'd ask Megan Rhodes, Maddie Torreson, Alyssa Heinisch, if you'll please come to center court. At this time, Mr. Kennedy and Mr. Bohannon will present the 2014 PIAA Quad A Girls Championship Trophy to the Eagles of Cumberland Valley High School. Congratulations.
Well, silver last year for Cumberland Valley, gold this season as the Eagles finish at 28-5 with a 19-point victory here over Springford in the Girls Quad A Championship. And Kelly Mizanti, really a methodical 19-point victory. They just kept increasing and increasing as the game wore on.
You know, they were relentless from the tip to the end of the game. very deserving for their team, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy this a lot.
And Steve, we talked how they were using last year's loss here to spring forward as motivation. If that indeed was the case, mission accomplished.
Absolutely. What do you do for an encore? Oh yeah, I forgot. Everybody comes back from this team, so I guess that's what you do for an encore.
And certainly spring forward, a team that was down and out a couple of times, came off the mat, got back to the state title game. They don't want to hear it right now, but a great season.
You know, it's always tough to lose the last game of the season, but they had a great season, and there's nothing to be ashamed of.
So they finished with the silver this year after winning the gold a season ago, but Cumberland Valley is your girls Quad A champion for 2014 with a 19-point victory. We have a lot more to get to. Mike Zambelli and Jim Wills will talk to the victors. That's when we come back to the Giant Center in a moment. Cumberland Valley beating Springford 49-30.
It's interactive ice cream fun at the Turkey Hill Experience, located in Columbia, PA, just south of Hershey. Create your own virtual ice cream flavor and packaging, milk our mechanical cows, and star in your own Turkey Hill commercial. Visit turkeyhillexperience.com for more information.
Welcome to the 100th anniversary of the PIAA Championships. Susquehanna Bank congratulates all of the athletes, coaches, and their families for the hard work, sacrifice, and perseverance that led to today. Susquehanna Bank is proud to partner with the PIAA during this 100th anniversary celebration as we share a sincere commitment to the communities we serve across the Commonwealth.
Same two teams from a year ago, but a different result. Your 4A girls champion Cumberland Valley go wire to wire here, beating defending champion Springford 49-30 your final. Mike Zambelli, Jim Wills, as we are joined by the winners. Jim, I thought the defense by the Eagles early in this game set the tone and they never let off.
Right from the start, it was a great defensive effort. You know, they played him twice, last year in the state finals. This year, they played him during the year. This time the charm, third time the charm. Defense, tremendous effort.
Coach Wolf, obviously, congratulations in order. What was different tonight between last year, even earlier this year in the regular season?
Well, the girls had been to the finals and had lost. So their mission was all year to get back here and win it. So there was a different focus this year than last. Not that last year's was bad, it's just that they really wanted it this year.
What was your message to them prior to the game? I mean, obviously you can't take away their championship from a year ago, but you can motivate your girls to maybe play a little better this year.
Oh, I didn't really have much to say. The girls wanted it bad. They kind of, again, were motivating each other.
Jim?
Well, Maddie Torrenson here, you went through, you lost to Dover in the district tournament, then you came back, beat them in the inter-district, and then you came in here in revenge tonight. You're on the revenge tour, great year this year.
Yeah, you know, coming out here in the last game with all my teammates, you know, we really wanted it. We pushed hard and we didn't quit.
Kelly, how important was it to send the two seniors off tonight on a winning note?
It's very important. I hope they have the best time in college. I think that they're going to do very well, but to end like this, it was a great experience.
We're going to look at some highlights of you right here. This was a tough battle. Was it a help knowing your opponent tonight playing in a championship game, or would you have rather preferred to face somebody that you hadn't played before?
I prefer playing people we know, like this game, especially since we played them last year in the championship. We wanted a little bit of revenge, but I thought we all did pretty well, so that helped too.
What was different from your perspective? I mean, they did beat you last year. They beat you during the regular season. What happened differently tonight that you noticed?
Our defense, we all got in the lane and played defense pretty well.
Not underclassmen on this team. The onus will be on your girls coming back next year. How do you approach the offseason?
Working hard and can't wait to go next year.
Congratulations, ladies. Coach, congratulations.
Great
Your
job.
second.
Great
you won
job,
one back
girls.
in 2008. How does this one compare to that championship?
Well, they're both sweet in their own way. It's a different set of girls, so it's really special to share it with them.
Cumberland Valley, your 4A girls champion for Jim Wills. I'm Mike Zambelli, back with more championship basketball after this on PCN.